Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Stuff and Things Podcast. Today we are talking about The Witcher Season 2 of Netflix. I am Sam. Joining me to discuss the show, or at least the first 3 episodes in this week's podcast, is my partner in crime, it's Stefan.
Back once again.
Yes, we are. The Witcher Season 2. Now, Season 1, because me and you both came to the show a little bit late. So yes. when we reviewed Season 1, we did it as a whole season. Netflix obviously drop all the shows. They basically just go, here you go guys, go crazy. Go wild! Here, have it.
Yeah.
Which everybody loves. I noticed pretty much every other streaming platform has now gone fully episodic, but Netflix is sticking to their guns. Bless them for that.
Yes, I can't tell if I love that or I hate it.
I think from a podcast point of view, it's a pain. I think from a watching it point of view, I love them. Because it basically meant that I didn't have to wait a week. And the way these shows are now, where literally you get to the end of the episode and you're like, what? What? No! More! Damn you!
Yeah, there is so many. Wait a minute. What?
Yeah. Although I do think it possibly makes the year wait harder. Like, I watched The Witcher in 3 days. I watched every episode. And I was like, I finished it and I was like, okay, I'm now angry with myself. So I felt like I should have spaced it, like I should have myself gone, no, episodic, Sam, 1 a week, ration it. But no.
No, see, I've kind of had to, because hands up, I'm a bit stupid. And as we found out in previous podcasts, if I pre-watch a load of things and then talk about a certain couple of episodes, I will get confused very easily and give out things that haven't happened yet.
Yeah,
so I have purposely only watched episodes 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah.
We will now record today, do this.
Yeah, and then
I will now tonight watch 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, so that is the plan. So anybody listening, we have broken it down. We are going to talk about episodes 1, 2 and 3 today. Next week you will have, hopefully, providing Stefan can watch them, episodes 4, 5 and 6. And the following week you'll have our finale review, which is episodes 7 and 8. So there we go. So we are going to talk about episodes 1, 2 and 3 today. It's a tradition on this show. It's the title of the episode. So, what are the titles of the 3 episodes we're talking about, Stefan?
We have A Grain of Truth, is episode 1.
Yep.
Episode 3, What is Lost.
Hang on.
Episode 2, Kaer Morhen.
I think it's Kaer Morhen.
Kaer Morhen.
Yeah, I think that's how they say it in the show. They kind of say it really fast.
Yeah, and I keep trying to grab what they're saying. I'm like, Kaer Morhen? Kaer Morhen? Kaer Morhen?
Oh, Jeff! Jeff, great guy. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Kilmoran is just a place somewhere in Scotland, so I don't think they're in Scotland.
No, I don't know, big windy castles. Episode 1 is called A Grain of Truth, and we basically open up. I mean, I've written some bullet points for the episode, but one of the main things is we've got Geralt looking for Yennefer. He's got Ciri with him on the horse, and he thinks she's dead. He runs into like Yennefer's, I can never remember her character name, but basically like her mentor. And Yennefer's gone, and she says to him like, yeah, she's gone. She used her fire magic. She used her chaos to, win the battle for us. Geralt
saved them all.
Pretty broken up about that. You can tell straight away. It's like, oh, that's more emotion I've seen from him in the entirety of season 1.
Yeah, he was not a happy boy, considering he's a Witcher and they're not meant to have any emotional feeling.
No.
That hits him hard.
Yeah, it did. He then decides he needs to get Ciri somewhere safe. And where is safer? So one of the things we learn in this, and again, I have never played the video games. I have not read the books. However, for Christmas, I have now got the books and will enjoy reading them in the future. But
oh, nice.
With the show, I'm literally just talking from the point of view of the show. So if you're listening to the podcast, you're a fan of the show, and you know the books and you know the lore and everything, then brilliant. I don't. So when I talk about things in this and I say these things, if I'm saying it like, this is amazing, I didn't know this, and you're thinking, duh. This is why I am new to this.
You've got the books, And over Christmas, I begged and begged and begged, and finally was able to buy myself the games 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, good fun. Yeah, brilliant.
So I'm going to start playing those, because I'd originally played The Witcher 3.
Oh, right, okay.
Which it seems like the Witcher 3 game starts off roughly where this season starts.
Okay, all right. Well,
there's a bit with Ciri from episode 3. There's a bit with Ciri trying to get through the obstacle course and training.
Yeah.
Which is where the game kind of starts.
Okay.
So I've now stopped playing that game and waited, and now I have the first one. I'm going to actually play through the games.
Okay. All right. Well,
try and learn what the heck's going on.
Between us, by the time Season 3 comes out, which I'm also delighted to say is confirmed, Season 3 starts filming soon, in fact. So, great news on that front. But so, in this episode, we learned that the Witchers basically sort of hibernate for winter. They all head back to a castle, all of them that are left. And they go there and they just bunker down, they heal, they resupply, and then when the winter's over, they then go back out across all of the continent killing monsters.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool thing, and like his goal was to get back to this castle, so there's safety. But he comes across, because the very opening scene of this whole episode is a monster ripping a town apart. And you don't see it. It seems to be like flying in, swooping in, killing people.
Yeah, my first bullet point here is, ooh, vampires.
yeah, a little bit, yeah. But then Geralt and Ciri are trying to get to this place, and they come across this town. So I'm like, great, brilliant. Poor Geralt.
I'm going for a break.
Dude basically trying to head home to nap, and this happens. He decides, let's not hang around here. This place doesn't give me the good vibes. I know a friend who lives locally. And he goes there, and the friend who lives locally, anyone who's a fan of Game of Thrones, hopefully would have recognised the voice, because it's the man who played Tormund from Game of Thrones.
The big giant man.
Yeah, I mean, he looks a lot better in this. I mean, you could tell. I mean, he's basically a beastie in this. He's been turned via a curse into a sort of warthog type man.
It had serious Beauty and the Beast vibes to this.
It did, yeah. But he also has some serious magic, by the way. He can just make things appear, like food and drink and clothes and stuff. So whatever's happened with him is a bit odd. Geralt has known him since he was a boy. And there's a lot of backstory they go into with that. But his friend is like, I'm here alone. He's not there alone. There is a creepy ass creature that he calls his cat. And there's a scene where Ciri's in bed, and this thing comes into the room like that bloody horror movie, The Ring.
Oh, yeah.
It's like creeping, and like the camera angles are moving and everything. The movements are sort of like jaggedy. It was horrible.
Yeah, I wasn't fond.
I don't like it. But then it gets right up to Ciri, and it's like incredibly sweet. It's like, I left you a dress. How are you?
Did you like what I left you? Wait, what's
so
going
pretty.
on?
So there's two aspects to this. One, Ciri is far braver than me. If I'd woke up and found that thing next to me, I'd have
head under the pillow. I'm not here.
Just screamed, Geralt! I would have freaked out, but Ciri's like pretty cool. Pretty laid back.
Yeah.
But the beast is like kind of really nice. So now I'm left in this thing. I'm like, okay, I was completely creeped out by this. But one of the messages in this show from Geralt on a few occasions is like, monsters aren't all bad. Like a few times he's like, seriously, that thing was no threat. It's just hungry.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, this like scary creature thing's obviously living in this house with this guy. Perhaps they've both been cursed. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Things progress, and we learn that no, this is a nasty creature. And Geralt kind of realizes it's there, nails his potion, which makes his eyes go kind of crazy, which I love. Tells Ciri to get outside. Like, if I tell you to run.
Yeah, do as you're told, child.
If anything or anybody leaves this house that's not me, run, get on Roach and get out of here.
Yeah.
And so she gets outside, and Geralt basically starts battling this thing, and he sees this thing feeding on his friend, like literally ripping into his throat, like you said, like a vampire.
Yeah.
And this thing's nasty. This thing is like trying to kill him, but at the same time, she's putting on this lovely face and getting in Ciri's head. Like, saying stuff to Ciri, like, oh, the Witcher will just try and kill me. He'll only see a monster. He won't see me like you see me. And I'm like, what the hell is... It's like psychological warfare. She's trying to get Ciri to take her side over Geralt? Come on, this ain't going to happen.
Did you have a slight bit where I was like, wait, this is going to go so badly for someone?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But the guy who's cursed had revealed he can't die. That's part of his curse.
Yeah, he's tried.
Yeah, tried several times. So Geralt succeeds and takes this creature out. Ciri is kind of a bit... I think Ciri finally gets to see the creature is nasty. I think
yes.
Kind of sees... But in doing it, the kind of... The curse, if you like, by Geralt's friend doing it and being involved, his curse is lifted, so he gets his face back to normal. But he's absolutely distraught. He was like in love with it or something. I don't know.
I feel like that's why he was hiding her out the way. I feel like there was something there, but...
Yeah, and obviously the creature had been killed everybody in that local town, and he just basically turned a blind eye to it, to which Geralt wasn't impressed and just kind of leaves him there.
But she was hungry. No, you psycho. She was killing everyone.
Really not cool. Cool, man. Not cool. Elsewhere, we see that the mages are basically back where they belong, licking their wounds after the battle. And there's also a really messed up torture scene with the prisoner they've taken, which was quite intense. I was quite kind of like, oh, damn. And we also learn, which we all kind of knew, we all saw the trailer, Fringilla has taken Yennefer prisoner. So Yennefer is alive.
Yay!
I mean, that's kind of episode 1. That episode 1 in a nutshell for you. Episode 2, Kaer Morhen. Yennefer and... So, Fringilla has taken Yennefer prisoner. Mm-hmm. They are then ambushed by elves and are both taken prisoner, which I find
not
kind
working
of
out well for her. Yeah.
No, Yennefer's kind of like, yay, I'm free, no, I'm not. Oh,
yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what the hell's going on there, but...
Just thinking of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm free, dang it.
Well, she was a hunchback at one point. So, Filavandrel is no longer in charge of the elves. So there's kind of like this woman, I think is Francesca.
Francesca, yes.
She's now in charge, and she's in charge basically because she's had a vision. And it's obviously some sort of elf, myth, elf kind of thing. And the dreams of the cloaked figures...
Yeah.
Yennefer and Fringilla, as soon as they're brought to the elf camp, start having visions themselves. And they start having visions. So it's obviously a magical kind of thing. It's obviously something to do with that.
It's like a link between them somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Yennefer tries to... I mean, she cracks me up because she's trying to, like, get out of things. Like, oh, yeah, I'm part elf. And they're like, no, you're not. You're not elf. It's like, my dad was an elf. Come on. I'm one of you guys. You saw I was a prisoner. No, let me free. I've written down here, there's a really odd scene with a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, so the three of them that have had the vision all go to this temple.
Yeah. And
because the three of them are there, Yennefer realises the way to open it like no one else has.
Yeah.
And she finds the way to open it, and then all of a sudden the three of them are going down into this basement, which is actually a forest underground in a dungeon.
It's basically like they're kind of teleported almost to somewhere else.
Yeah, and they walk along and they find a cabin, and then the cabin lifts up and turns around and becomes what they've all seen in their visions.
Yeah.
Proper weird.
Yeah, and there's a shed.
It's a shed in a forest.
Shed in a forest. And the three of them basically turn the shed, they enter it, and there's like a entity speaks to each of them in a different form, but it's made pretty clear to us as the audience it's the same entity.
It's the same, but it has three different... each of them are seeing their own vision.
Yeah, I mean, basically gives them a... I mean, I know from watching more episodes, obviously the greater context to it, but at this point, utter confusion from me. Utter confusion. And
yeah.
The one thing I have written down here is Yennefer no longer has powers, ? Because this, in a couple of instances, would appear to indicate she can't conjure anything. She's in trouble. She's and she kind of leaves this. The elf. Fringilla goes her way. Francesca is going with her, and the elves are gonna join up with the dark side, the stormtroopers. But Yennefer is obviously off on her own. So yeah. You'd imagine the first thing she'd do is crack a portal and walk through it, but she can't.
Yeah, bye!
The Witcher, Geralt, has managed to get Ciri to the home of the Witchers, where everybody is. And we've got a bit of a rogues collection of guys here, all the Witchers. We have a very sad tree, which has got lots of the Witcher necklaces nailed to it, obviously Witchers that have died.
Yes.
One of the things with that as well is obviously we know that there is no more ability to create more Witchers. So you see this big castle in disrepair and ruins, and you see this big hall, and there's about 8 of them. I think in total there's probably 10, 12 just sort of launching around in different places.
Kind of a sad moment when you really think about it. Like this massive castle, and you think back and like surely at one point this thing was like in perfect condition.
Yeah, with all the Witchers.
Full of like hundreds of witches or whatever, and now they're like, no, we are the last. There will be no more. You're like,
that's
damn.
it. Yeah, it is kind of a bit dark in that respect. One of the things as well is one of them arrives and he's injured and he's basically battled a creature. But
this was strange.
He's hiding his injury. He's like hiding it. Doesn't want to reveal it.
Yeah.
He eventually does. Well, we as the audience eventually see that he's been attacked and stabbed, and the creature is now growing within him. It's basically like a tree-type creature, and the thing just starts wrecking the place, killing people.
Yeah!
Geralt, obviously, and the other Witchers are trying to fight it, and Geralt eventually does win.
Yeah.
But in winning, he has to kill his friend.
Now, this was a fun scene for me, because I'd seen a clip of The Witcher.
Me too. On the Graham Norton show.
Yeah. And it was Geralt killing a tree.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, I'm like, this is really strange.
Yeah.
Why is he killing a tree indoors?
Yeah.
What is
context now? Context now.
Now that there's context, I'm like, that's a really frightening, cool, awesome, weird, lots of words mashed together.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable. Yeah. Very, very enjoyable. Completely batshit. But this is my brother. We are all brothers here. He's turning into a tree. What?
Better kill him then. Yeah. I mean, you could see that he had an impact on him because clearly they arrived there at a similar time, went through the training together.
Yes.
So yeah, that did have an impact. And again, it's another dead Witcher.
Yes. There's not many left.
No, there's not. So that was kind of messed up. One of the things at the end is obviously Ciri is kind of in and around all of this, and Geralt's trying to keep her safe. But at the very end, he kind of gives her a sword to train her. And I kind of feel like that was a moment for her, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, this is going to be interesting. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of episode 2 in a nutshell.
It was like, here, have your wooden sword. See what can happen.
Yeah, in essence, yeah. But I mean, I think the thing about Ciri is we know she's really powerful. You know, we know that's in her, but she has no idea what or how to control that. It just fires out at random times.
Yes.
Geralt isn't fully aware that. I think he knows something, but isn't fully aware of it himself.
And he wants to protect her, and she's just constantly like, no, I want to be better. I want to do more. Yeah. I don't like She's of the stage of, I do not just want to be the person that hides behind the horse every time.
You got it, yeah.
Let me do my own thing as well. This guy could have killed everyone. The guy that turned into a tree. She was completely defenceless, didn't like it. Let me defend myself. And he's very much a case of, I'm not going to win this anymore. So, okay, have a training sword.
Let's see what you got. Yeah, no, I think you've summed that up quite well, to be honest. Yeah, I'm on board with that. So that's kind of episode 2. We move into episode 3, which is titled What is Lost. The Brotherhood, the mages are... We get to see just how political and backstabbing bastards they all are.
Oh, yes.
I guess we kind of knew that anyway, but we get to real demonstration of it in this. The elves have now officially joined Nilfgaard. There's this constant reference to the white flame. At this point, I'm, again, completely baffled.
Oh, I am. I think I messaged you, actually, after episode 3.
Yeah.
I messaged you and said, like, I'm pretty sure I understood what was happening in season 1 a lot better than I was understanding.
It's like, funny because I didn't. So season 1 of The Witcher, because of the time jump thing, I don't think until episode 6 or 7 I went, oh, it's different time periods.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this show makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, whereas I'm sat here going, there is just so much happening.
Yeah.
That I'm desperate to now watch 4, 5 and 6 to try and tie together. Like, you've already mentioned like, the visions and stuff like that. And everything else.
One of the things I thought was quite a funny observation is when we were watching season 1, me and you both kind of called Nilfgaard like the Nazis, like they're literally a dark force storming across everything.
Yes.
I want to adjust that, and the reason why I want to adjust it is because although that is in essence what they're doing, like make the world Nilfgaard.
Yep.
They see themselves as Rome, like how the Romans saw themselves, which is bringing light to the world. And they genuinely say that, bringing light to the world. They see it as the world is bad, it's rough, it's harsh and horrible. We conquer it, we feed the poor, we make sure people have jobs, we make sure people... So they see themselves as Rome. They see themselves as the great salvation to everybody. And people who don't want to be part of that are stupid.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. They can't understand why they don't want everyone to have jobs and everyone to have food and water, and why would you not want that?
Yeah, so it's it's quite interesting. I thought that was... in this episode, that kind of really struck me. The line of bringing light to the world, it was like, that was the Romans. The Romans literally prided themselves on, we are the shining light to the dark world, and we will conquer you so you'll be better.
Yes.
We're going to murder your armies, slaughter all the firstborn men, so that makes you bestest. Then we're going to build a lovely road. Yenn definitely has no powers. It's confirmed in this episode. She makes it all the way back home.
Yes.
Is powerless, and then that son of a bitch mage tries to torture her.
Yeah, he's not a very nice guy. We don't like this guy.
So messed up. Her mentor intervenes and sort of puts him in his place. Yes. But that was really, really messed up. And she tells her, which is a massive thing, there is no way for her to get her power back.
Now, I know we're only in episode 3, but for me, I'm like, yeah, come on, it's Yennefer. Surely Yennefer's going to get her power back. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the rest of it, obviously, but I'm sat here like, come on.
In 4, 5, and 6, that whole shed scene ties into this big. So you will see. Back at the Witcherland, Ciri's doing the obstacle course.
This is awesome.
There's something about this scene where there's two facets of this. One, the scene and the visuals are great. The determination in this character to try and do something. The fact that the bastard Witchers basically tease her into doing it just to see her fall on her ass a few times.
But then a few times into it, they're like, come on, you can do it!
I know.
Go on!
And that's the thing that I love, because it starts as like a prank, and there's two of them there. And by the time she's nearly completing it, there's like all of them are out there. They're cheering her on, like, you got it, come on!
Yeah, you go, gal, go on!
Yeah, and there's like every time she gets knocked down, there's blood flying everywhere. It's mental.
And all the witches like, go again, go again!
Yeah, come on, you can do it, get up. Eventually Geralt sees as well, and he's just like, that was close. It's like,
yeah, she falls over at the last hurdle. It's like, almost.
He's like, nearly did it, well done. So one of the other things that is going on with Yenn is they tell her to kind of prove that she's not a spy, she has to kill the Nilfgaard prisoner in front of all the southern or northern kings.
Yeah, this was strange. I realise I've said that a lot in these podcasts. That was strange.
Yeah.
I need to see more episodes.
This is kind of a difficult thing because I can't. I'm not giving away a spoiler because I wrote my notes as I wrote the episodes.
Perfect. Okay.
So I've written down here that Yenn is basically believes that she has to free this guy because of the vision at the shed to get her power back. So in that vision, the woman seems to indicate to her that she needs to get this guy out. Can't be killing him. Yeah. So she is literally torn in this moment. She's like with the sword or the axe or ready to kill him. She's got her mentor there, all the people that she's been with. But let's face it, she didn't exactly like them anyway. She loves her mentor in a kind of love-hate relationship. Yeah. But the rest of them, especially after that guy got in her head and tried to torture her, they can basically all go and fornicate with themselves. Yeah. So she does release the guy from Nilfgaard and the two of them escape and
jump
away.
On a white horse and off they go. Yeah,
off they go. And I think jumping on the white horse was a little bit symbolic as well. I like that. Meanwhile, Ciri and Geralt go hunting for this wooden creature monster that killed his friend.
Yeah.
Now they find it, and the thing gets ripped apart by another creature, which is clearly hunting Ciri. They have used this to like lure them out. And Ciri's having visions, like little flashes of the future.
Yes, and she sees herself getting dragged along the floor, and then like a second later it happens. It's like,
it happens, yeah. There's the scene in this is, I'm a little bit perplexed. So Ciri's kind of cornered. The monster gets close. The monster, to me, seems to stop. Like, the monster has every opportunity at that point just to rip her apart.
Yep, I worried for a moment.
But he seems to stop. Now, I don't know if the monster was stopping like, yay, I'm about to eat. Yep. Or was stopping like, I found you, lovely Ciri. I'm Jeff, the loyal monster from the Vale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me introduce myself. Why do you look so scared, child?
Yeah, because before he can take a bite or introduce himself, Geralt arrives and rips the guy in half with his sword.
Yeah, oh man, that would have been a great scene. Hi there. Yeah. I'm Derek.
Yeah, and just wait, he was about to talk to me. Oh, Ciri, I've been looking for you for months. I'm your dad's cousin. Kung dead. Yeah. No. What? It's a monster. You know, like the Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. Big monster. I'm a Witcher. Is what I do. Come on.
Yeah. What did you expect?
But yeah, Geralt does take him out, and Ciri again's like, that is so cool. I want to do that.
It does seem to be, doesn't it? Like as he kills this big monster, that seems to be the exact moment that Ciri goes, Yep.
Definitely want to be involved in that. I definitely want to be doing monster killing. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that is episode 3. See, I'm having to be so careful because it's funny because I wrote these notes as I went along.
Yes.
But I just want to add so much. I just want to kind of go.
Cannot.
I want to kind of go, but of course this scene now means this, which I'll have a lot of fun doing when we talk about the final. When we talk about the 7 and 8, we can talk about the callbacks and we can talk about things, which would be great. Yeah. But yeah, so that is our discussion on the Witcher Season 2 episodes 1, 2 and 3. Like I said, next week 4, 5 and 6. Yes. The following week, episodes 7 and 8, and that'll be our The Witcher Season 2, yeah. Definitely want to do them two together. You definitely want to watch them back to back, because if you've got to like 1 a.m. and you've just finished 7, you're going to be so mad at yourself. Because it isn't a case you're waiting a day, it's a case of you ain't going to bed till gone 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, trust me, I've been there with a few shows, and this is one of them. I can't remember the last, I didn't watch that late, but I think Cobra Kai, season 3, I got to like 1 a.m. and I was like, I've got 2 episodes left at like 30 minutes each.
I can do this.
I was like, I'm sorry, I can't not watch. I'm like, no, I have to, because I had this thing in my head as well. Like, and if I go tomorrow to work or something, and someone goes, "Oh wow, can't believe they killed off so and so," I'll just kill them. I'll just end them, and I'll be in jail. You know, I was just like, I have to see it, and I did, but. So that's The Witcher Season 2, episodes 1, 2 and 3. A massive thank you to everybody for listening, as always. We'll be back real soon. The shows are coming thick and fast from us at the moment. If you're a big fan of Marvel, keep an eye out for a Monday soon. Marvel Monday will return, where we're going to be talking about Spider-Man. Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about the film. We're going to be talking about all the theories that went into it and all the theories that have come out of it. I've also made some notes recently of a few things that were cut from the film or ideas that were left out, so we're going to talk about that as well.
Yes.
Then, not long after that, we're going to have another special talking about the Eternals movie, another Marvel movie, just going through that again for Marvel Monday. And hopefully, by the time we've done both of those, we'll have some news on the Marvel Disney Plus shows for the year as well. So far, we know that Moon Knight is going to be this year, and Miss Marvel is going to be this year, and we also know that She-Hulk is going to be this year. And the rumours are that there's going to be a very fun cameo in She-Hulk, and I'm not talking about Bruce Banner. So, that's it for now. A big thank you to everybody for listening. We'll be back next week. You all take care.
That's a wrap.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.